Hi everyone. So this is a quick presentation on giving Flash presentations. So you will need a screen recorder for Flash presentations, for which you can look at the recording I made on using PowerPoint to record yourself or Screencast-O-Matic to record yourself. It's in the materials folder. First thing to know about the Flash presentation is this assignment is a 5-minute presentation of your outline of your essays. The assignment aims to ask you to tell me what I need to know about your rough draft and your essay so I can give you feedback on developing it further. To communicate effectively in PowerPoint presentations, you need to use visuals, remember that, that keep the audience's attention and communicate your ideas. So this is not a requirement for all presentations, not just for this one. So the elements of a clear presentation is clear structure and clear signposting. What I mean by that is a clear structure. First, you need to have a clear sort of introduction and parts of it, just like any regular essay. To do that, you need to have a clear structure, as it says here. You also need to have clear signpost language that your audience can follow and can use to keep on track of things. You need to provide cues such as transitions, by that a word or phrase that helps connect sentences. You need to also summarize complex points at the end of each slide. Let's just put it that way. Your tone needs to be clear. So your tone needs to be formal for an academic situation. For an informal talk, it would be obviously informal. The other strategy you can use is something like parallel structure, which I've talked about in another section, where you repeat and use parallel structure, by that a writing technique that puts similar items into the same grammatical structure to follow. So for example, we cannot dictate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hollow. Creates a rhythm that users and listeners can follow better. You also need to focus on visual anchoring. By that, allow your audience to look at something. So just like you're looking at this PowerPoint presentation right now as you're hearing me talk. When you're composing the PowerPoint presentation, have a clear sense of time. So remember, 5 minutes of talking means 2 pages of double-spaced writing. So make sure that you introduce your ideas whenever you're talking about it, so you cannot assume that the audience will know what it is or what the details of it are or what the stakes of it are. So you need to make sure that it's stated early on in the introduction. Then you need to focus that general introduction into a specific point, that is the thesis. From there, you're going to move on to the specific points and specific piece of evidence. Use signal words or transition words to point your audience towards what part of that presentation it is. So you can use words such as in conclusion when you're in the concluding part of your presentation, and you can use phrases such as for example when you're providing evidence. This tells the reader how they can interpret or digest the information. Remember, again, to emphasize, it's very important that you use visual anchors or cues in your presentations. This helps the audience understand what you're trying to say. So rather than just say, outline of your essay includes an introduction, thesis, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, like you have here, a good presentation would also show a visualization like this, so that this point is manifested or cleared up by this image. Again, finally, remember, when you're doing presentations, some good rules of thumb is do not write in paragraphs. Okay, use lists. An example of this is obviously what I'm doing here. I'm not listing the paragraphs. I'm not writing out everything I'm saying, but I'm using lists and just points like this. Use a large font, at least 18 or more in your PowerPoint, like this. Use colors carefully and use visuals. So as I've been saying already in multiple cases. You want to, and finally, you want to pause for emphasis. So you would have noticed me pausing during slides earlier, or I would have inserted edits to create more spaces for understanding what I'm saying. So that's all it is. If you have questions, you can email me or we can meet during office hours. But if you want to read more about this, you should go to your Little Seagull handbook and read W6. You should also remember to read W4 of your Little Seagull, which is about developing paragraphs, on which I have the other video. Thanks. Bye.